the northern tip of the island's 4-kilometer-long White Beach. As boats fought it out in the rainy and gray last leg of the challenge, every spot was fought for like it was for the champion trophy. Inguirda and Wilson once again edged out Tardru and Turnbull by less than 2 minutes with a time of 2 hours, 26 minutes and 23 seconds. The big tete-a-tete of the day, however, was for third place, with the bi-generational Garcia team of Monchu and Diego grabbing the honor from fellow local sailors Maria Videra and Joe Hagedorn by less than 30 seconds. As teams pulled their boats up onto Boracay's famed crystalline white sands, they skipped over to the welcoming Boracay Terraces Resort with its beachside restaurant and bar, whose coolers were stocked full, ready for parched sailors starved for civilization. After the sailors had relaxed a bit, they were whisked over to the sprawling grounds of major sponsor Fairways and Blue Water, where they were to be honored with being the inaugural guests at the new villas Maria and Margarita, the newest phase in 4 new golf course side projects at Fairways.
Maria and Margarita are the 2 newest buildings that we have. It's a 30-unit configuration building. We have a total of 120 units for the 4. And Maria and Margarita is something I think the world would really love to stay at. I mean, it's fronting the golf course. A few walks away, you have the beach.
Perhaps a fitting match for the Hobie Challenge, the names of the new villas have a bit of sailboat heritage of their own.
This was the 4 ships that sailed the Manila-Acapulco run before, during the olden days. So these buildings are actually paying tribute to those ships that first sailed those waters. And that's a perfect match for the Hobie Cat, you know?
Boracay Island has been a start or finish point for half of the Hobie challenges and holds a special place in the heart of organizers.
And this 10th year was very, very interesting. We had some new things, we had some old things. The old thing that we had, which I think was the route. This year, as the 10th anniversary, we had almost the same route that we had the first year, which was really a very nice anniversary thing.
Well, I think coming to Boracay is the highlight of it, you know, because there's a lot of facilities and all. You can do anything you care to have, and different meals and all that. The places we go to are very, very remote. And it's hard to judge which are the nicest ones, you know. They're actually pretty equally nice.
It's like a coming home in a way, because the route we did this year, it's very fitting. Here we go, full circle, 10 challenges, and we're back to a route that was very, very similar to the route we had on the very first Hobie Challenge.
And then yes, you come to a place like this, to Boracay, party land, which is great. I mean, we're all party people, everybody wants to party, but they don't want to party every night. We enjoy the beaches and the quiet and peace up there and the stars and so on. But then to come to somewhere like this, enjoy a good meal, drinks, party. It's a total contrast, but it fits in with our whole view of the challenge, adventure.
While sailors enjoyed a taste of luxury after almost 200 nautical miles of racing, most made it back to their villas at a fairly decent hour, mindful that the last day of the Sea Air Inshore Race Series was still to come. As the last day of sailing opened, conditions were overcast and rainy, and the last races of the Inshore Series were held in choppy seas and gray conditions. Back on the tight and technical courses, no one was on autopilot yet, and a combination of fierce competition and demanding conditions even caused a collision that took out one boat.
We went off well, and it looked like the wind had shifted. Well, the wind had shifted, so we wanted to make a gain on the other side while everybody was shooting off over to the left. And coming off the line, we were on starboard, which means the wind is coming over the starboard side of the boat. But we needed to duck somebody. We knew who was there, and we needed to duck somebody to get through, because in racing, the starboard runner is the one who has rights over the one who turns off to port. So we needed to duck him to get clear and go off to the right side of the course. Unfortunately, when we decided to tack, we tacked into a huge lift with power. So we accelerated really, really quickly, and they also came closer to us because
It's like
they
suddenly
they got a header while we were lifting, so our actual trajectories were to come in contact with each other. We tried to bear away as fast as we could, but unfortunately, the way these boats actually accelerate is amazing that we were on top of them in no time.
As the 13 crews pulled their Hobies onto the beach this one last time after 6 days of sailing, most were still grinning ear to ear. Each had tested themselves to their furthest limit in the sport of sailing. Some had succeeded in their tests, but all had been challenged.
Na para bang napakagaling na namin because we came from a championship series.
When you play for the country, the whole nation is behind you. To include the international.
Get the latest sports updates and hottest news from the sports community.
There are actually now two groups trying to take control of Philippine billiards. Kasi mo, yun natatanong ko, ano yung reaction mo? Sabi mo, bakit ikaw?
Bakit ako?
Get to know the real deal inside the sports you love with Anthony Suntay.
And headlines from the hottest...
Inside Sports. Only here on Pakisi, home of Philippine sports.
With the day finishing up with a superbly hosted awards party at Fairways and Blue Water's secluded Paradise Cove, sailors from each of the 5 legs, 2 inshore-offshore days, and the overall competition were presented with special Ron Blond marble trophies, commissioned especially by the Department of Tourism. With the 5 total legs of the Sea Air Inshore Race Series, Andrew Lockey and Stuart Brown took the 3rd, Bruce Tardrew and Sarah Turnbull clutched the 2nd, and Bob Nguerda and Bradley Wilson took the champion trophy for the 3rd year running as a team. In the Challenge Series of the 2009 Philippine Hobie Challenge, the lineup mirrored that of the Inshore Series, with Lockey and Brown narrowly edging out Pinoy father and son team Manchu and Diego Garcia by a matter of minutes, with Tardrew and Turnbull securing 2nd place by almost 1 hour, and Nguerda and Wilson cruising in 25 minutes ahead of them for another championship trophy. Nguerda's 5th and Wilson's 4th consecutive champion trophies. While the intensity and non-stop movement of the previous week transitioned to an unhurried, unscheduled Boracay bliss, racers packed up their gear, enjoyed their first morning without an early start, and digested the close of 10 years of Philippine Hobie challenges. Many teams would be back for a multitude of enthusiastic reasons.
It's really interesting. Actually, we're sitting here in True Foods because at the end of the very first Hobie Challenge, we had an awards party in, I forget which bar it was down here, but then all of the sailors came and we sat in this very same position. So this was 9 years ago, Hobie Challenge 0, or Hobie Challenge 1, I should say. We're all sitting here having a dinner together in True Foods, yes, this very location.
Many teams would be back for a multitude of enthusiastic reasons.
We have a lot of people that come back year after year, and we have a lot of emails of real, like, sorrow, break my heart thing that they couldn't come.
It's in their own way, and of course the people are always great in these outlying islands that we stay on. Everyone's supportive. We get a lot of help from the towns in lifting the boats and sourcing our goods, and yeah, the children come out and serenade us, and welcome us. It's nice.
What keeps me coming back, the people and the challenge, and the scenery of the Philippines, which is just fantastic. It's just always different. There's nothing the same about the challenge. They've had 10 of them, none of them have been the same, and it's always an involvement with wonderful people. It's well organised as an event, but you never know what to expect.
For me, this is the best place to sail for us. Boracay here is great. We love sailing here.
As the second decade of the Philippine Hobie Challenge begins its cycle, the event has solidly built its reputation on the international stage as a unique and premier sailing showcase.
Being in a country like the Philippines and having 7,000 beautiful islands, what a better way to promote our islands than having boats that can go to this island. There's some islands that, like you know yourself, you can't get any nearby unless you have a Hobie. And being part of the Hobie Challenge has made me see beautiful places that I don't think anybody has really seen. It's really beautiful places we have here. You know?
The fact that you sail much longer distances, you go to very remote places which are actually beautiful, especially here in this country, in the Philippines. You go to beautiful white sand beaches. You have all this nature around you. I think what makes it different is the distance and the places you go to.
What kind of impression do first-time Hobie sailors have of the Philippines after their first Hobie Challenge?
Awesome. Not wow, please. Awesome. Yes.
Beyond wow.
Yeah, beyond wow. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal Philippines.
That's why this event is so much fun.